This is what you need to know now. Gas prices jumping 35 cents in just 1 week as President Trump announces a new plan to help cargo ships get through the Strait of Hormuz. A rare virus outbreak turning deadly on a cruise ship with multiple Americans on board. Plus, the social media trend prompting teenagers to ransack Scientology churches. Boycotting over a billionaire, why some celebrities are skipping fashion's biggest night, tonight's Met Gala. And the first female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby speaks to us about her newfound fame. We have much more. What you need to know now. I'm Elizabeth Schulze from ABC News. It's Monday, May 4th. This is what you need to know. Let's get right to the big story. Gas prices climbing across the country, with the national average now $4.45 a gallon. That's up 35 cents from just last week. 6 states are now over $5 a gallon, with California leading the nation at more than $6.11. The spike comes as global oil markets remain volatile, with the Strait of Hormuz still heavily restricted, disrupting major shipping routes. Central Command now says that 2 U.S.-flagged merchant ships have successfully transited the waterway. And CENTCOM says U.S. Navy warships are in the Persian Gulf for the first time since the start of the war. Mary Bruce has the latest.
Elizabeth, as the war with Iran now enters its 10th week and with the economic toll now mounting here at home, President Trump says that the U.S. will now help stranded cargo ships leave the Strait of Hormuz starting today, dubbing it, quote, Project Freedom. The president posting, quote, we will guide their ships safely out of these restricted waterways so that they can freely and ably get on with their business. Adding, quote, I am fully aware that my representatives are having very positive discussions with the country of Iran, despite later claiming Iran's latest proposal is, quote, not acceptable. An official tells ABC News this new effort will not include military escorts, but that the U.S. will provide what's being described as a defensive umbrella over ships entering or leaving the strait, helping to coordinate safe traffic. But Iran, which maintains a chokehold on the strait, quickly firing back, calling this effort, quote, delusional. Iran's military saying it will attack U.S. forces if they attempt to approach or interfere in the Strait of Hormuz. But the president says this new effort is a humanitarian gesture to help those ships linked to countries not involved in the war. And he is threatening any interference with the operation, quote, will unfortunately have to be dealt with forcefully.
After its immediate shutdown over the weekend, Spirit Airlines says most passengers have now received airfare refunds. Travel experts are warning that Spirit's failure could mean even higher prices going forward. The latest government data shows that the average price of airfare is already up 15% from last year. Secretary of State Marco Rubio is heading to the Vatican to meet with Pope Leo this week, according to the State Department. They're expected to discuss the war with Iran and the situation in Cuba. This comes after President Trump's public feud with the Pope. Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani has been hospitalized in Florida. A spokesman for the 81-year-old said that Giuliani was in critical but stable condition. No word yet why he was hospitalized. President Trump last night called Giuliani, who once served as his personal lawyer, a true warrior. The search continues for 2 American service members missing in Morocco. The soldiers taking part in military exercises were on a hike when officials believe they fell off a cliff into the ocean. Jay O'Brien has more.
Elizabeth, that urgent search for those missing U.S. service members now entering its 3rd day. Both soldiers, according to a U.S. official, are with the Army and were on a hike Saturday near the remote Moroccan city of Tantan, right between the edge of the Saharan desert and the Moroccan coast. It's believed, that official says, that service members may have fallen off a cliff into the ocean. There's no indication of foul play. It happened during a massive annual military exercise involving 5,000 troops from about 40 countries, from the U.S., NATO allies, Morocco, and other African nations. There's now an extensive joint search and rescue effort underway using both U.S. and Moroccan military assets, including helicopters, drones, as well as troops hiking the cliffs and divers swimming down below, also ships monitoring it all. Those missing soldiers have not yet been publicly identified, Elizabeth.
At least 13 people are now hurt after a shooting at a party near Oklahoma City. Police say the gunfire broke out around 9 p.m. Sunday at a gathering of young people near Arcadia Lake. Officials say that victims were taken to area hospitals, some by ambulance, others driving themselves, with injuries ranging in severity. No arrests have been made. New details on a cruise ship in the Atlantic Ocean where 3 people have died in a suspected outbreak of the rare Hantavirus, according to global health officials. We're learning that 17 U.S. citizens are on board the Dutch-flagged ship. The The vessel left Argentina, traveled to Antarctica and remote islands, and is now off West Africa, where local authorities are refusing it entry. Longtime New York Yankees radio voice John Sterling has died. Sterling spent decades behind the mic, becoming one of the most recognizable calls in baseball for generations of fans. He was known for his signature home run calls.
Here's the 3-1. Swung on that. There it goes. Deep left. It is high. It is far. It is gone. He's tied the babe. It's a Giuliani blast. His 60th home run of the year. Wow.
Sterling started calling games for the Yankees in 1989 and retired in 2024. He was 87 years old. We have much more What You Need to Know. Here's your daily briefing. Other big stories that we're following on ABC News. Police are looking for a mob of teens who vandalized the Church of Scientology building in New York City, believed to be part of a social media trend. Witnesses say about 50 teens raced through the church, breaking chairs and tables and injuring a security guard. Authorities call the trend speed running. A similar incident in Los Angeles targeted a Scientology church on Hollywood Boulevard. Britney Spears has a court date in Southern California today, but she's not expected to attend. She's facing a misdemeanor driving under the influence charge, so she's not required to be there. If she accepts a plea deal, she will get probation. And the biggest night in fashion, the Met Gala, is tonight, but it's not without controversy. Posters calling to boycott the, quote, Bezos Met Gala have popped up near the museum. Amazon founder Jeff Bezos reportedly spent millions sponsoring the event. Some celebrities are skipping the night amid criticism over Amazon's business practices and government contracts. Bezos has not commented on the backlash. Other critics call the glitz tone deaf, with tickets around $100,000 each, benefiting the Met's Costume Institute. The mayor of New York is also passing, saying his focus is on affordability. Still, the red carpet is expected to draw a star-studded crowd. This year's theme, Fashion is Art. And new today, Princess Eugenie and her husband are expecting their third child. Buckingham Palace says the baby is due this summer, adding that the two sons are very excited for another sibling. Eugenie is the daughter of King Charles's brother, the former Prince Andrew. Finally, before you go, the history-making trainer at the Kentucky Derby, Sherry DeVoe, was cheering like crazy as Golden Tempo went from last place to first place in a spellbinding first leg of the Triple Crown. She is the first female horse trainer to win the Derby. DeVoe credits her husband for encouraging her to get into the male-dominated sport.
He said, you should really train on your own. You're very talented and you have what it takes to make it. I just really couldn't imagine that I actually won the Kentucky Derby as the trainer, much less the first female thoroughbred trainer to win the Kentucky Derby.
DeVoe says she's glad to represent women, saying they can do anything they set their minds to. As for Golden Tempo, she's waiting to see how he recovers from the Derby before entering him in the Preakness. And that's what you need to know. For breaking news and live updates throughout the day, check out ABC News streaming on Disney+.
New episodes streaming every day on Disney+.